Ritaj, you were asking about what we are going to do for this class. I wrote in we're going to do everything related to qualitative analysis, which is testing for gases, testing for, sorry, not tomorrow, different time. Today, now, tomorrow, different time. No, here it's only one class per week. The normal tuitions, we take 2 classes, but for now, we take, for the free classes, we take 1 class per week. So it's either Friday or Saturday. I didn't choose Saturday, Omar, because I know in the majority of the students already they have classes on Saturday. That's why I said Friday. But if all of you can Friday, it's fine. Next time. Okay, if all of you can Saturday, it's fine. We can do it Saturday. For me, better. And every Friday, I don't go out because of this class. For me, it's better. This is what we are going to talk about for today. We are going to talk about the anions, the test for the anions, and the test for the cations. I explained this before, but today I'm going to show you some more tricky questions that are related to the test for the ions and the test for the gases and also the flame test. Okay, يلا, let's start. Good job, Yaluli, that you joined. I know not all the time you can. يلا, let's start. I'm going to show you some tricky questions. وطبعا في some questions are so easy, but I choose some questions that are a little bit trickier. Yeah. Paper 6 are easy. يا محمد. All the chemistry, all level is easy, يا محمد. يلا, let's start. So, if I'm going to see a question like this one, if I'm going to check a question like this one, of course, that's great. Type. If I'm going to show you a question like this one, this is zinc bromide. So he is saying, I have the salt itself, it's named zinc bromide. So he is saying, if I'm going to put sodium hydroxide on this substance, what's your observation? Yani I'm going to put sodium hydroxide on the zinc. So I'm going to return back. If you check here, I'm going to return back to the, check it out. I'm going to return back to this page. For Cambridge students, this is going to be given, as I told you before. For Edexcel students, this is not going to be given. Type. If I'm going to check, this is zinc. You are going to check. Where is zinc? Zinc is here. So if you are going, Yaluli, to put sodium hydroxide, what will happen, Ya Muhammad? I will say it's going to give you white precipitate. After white precipitate, what will happen? It's going to be soluble in excess. I got this question in the monthly test, really? Oh, that's good. So it's going to give you white precipitate. But this is what we are going to write. And at the same time, it's going to be soluble in excess. Then sometimes he will ask you, is it going to be, what will happen if you put excess? So it's going to be soluble in excess. Then giving a colorless solution. But if he asks you what will happen if you put sodium hydroxide, you will say white precipitate. If you put excess, it's going to be colorless. It's going to give you a colorless solution. Type. If he asks you then about ammonia, if he added ammonia, what will happen? It's going to give you white precipitate. But if you put excess, what will happen? Again, it's going to give you colorless solution. Okay? Type. Let's return back to our question. Well, let's see what was the question talking about. Okay? Let's see. So for the first time, for the first part, he said, I'm going to put sodium hydroxide. Once we put sodium hydroxide, what will happen? The first part, as I said, it's going to give you A. So we don't need to memorize the table. Look here, Lean, if you are a Cambridge student, this table is going to be given for you for paper 6 only. It's not going to be given for paper 2 or paper 4. Okay, this is starting last year. This started last year. Before last year, it was not given. But started May, June last year, this paper was given. Okay, for Cambridge student, I'm talking about British Council exam. I'm not talking about school exams. Huh? School exams, في some schools they allow it, في some schools they don't allow it. يعني here we are in Kuwait. In my school we allow it. Here in Kuwait we have KES, they don't allow it. We don't have, not all the schools are the same. But I'm talking about the normal British Council exam. It's going to be given. But it's going to be given only in paper 6. Okay. طيب for Edexcel student, لا, Edexcel student, you need to memorize it. Okay. يلا, let's continue. So, as I said here, once we will put, since I'm going to put sodium hydroxide, يبقى what will happen? I'm going to write white precipitate. I told you before, please don't forget to write the word precipitate. طب if you forgot to write the word precipitate, they will cut 1 mark. I told you before, the word white is 1 mark, the word precipitate is again another 1 mark. So please don't forget it, okay? Type next. As I told you, he's going to ask you about the excess. If he asks you about excess sodium hydroxide, what will happen? We said now in the sheet, it's going to dissolve or it's going to give you colorless solution. So I'm going to say it will dissolve. I can say it dissolves, or you can say it's going to give you colorless solution. Both are correct. يعني both are correct. Okay? Type number 3. Drops of aqueous ammonia. Yes, Mariumi.
Do I need to memorize that?
Which part exactly?
The table for paper 2 and paper 4. Cambridge.
For paper 2 and 4?
Yes.
For paper 2 and 4, it's not going to be given. If you want my advice, yes, it's better to memorize it. Last year, the majority of the question was in paper 6. Okay? But if you want my advice, it's better. We don't know paper 2 and 4. Maybe they will get 1 question, something like this. فطبعا أكيد for sure, if you are going to ask about the safest أكيد it's safe to memorize it. I will tell you something. لا يا عمر عادي normal. هقول لكم طيب another point يا مريومي إنه if you will بصي بجد trust me, if you will get this sheet you will print it and print it مش online print this 2 pages اللي هم التable و get the past papers و answer all the past papers حتى even if you want me to send you, this is my notes this is my private notes, if you want me to send you حتى even this part we get the sheet, we do it at the end of once you're done with this question, at the end خلاص you are going to memorize everything. It's going to be way easier for you. It's not going to be as hard as you expected. So هي الidea كلها إنه you need to practice. When you practice, the first question it's hard, the second question is hard. But by time you will find إنه خلاص it's easy. You got the idea?
Okay, thank you. Yes, thank you.
welcome يا روحي. Clear? يلا, let's continue. Practice makes perfect. Yes. Where can I find the table? I can put it on my groups if you want. Who's asking? Mohamed Ismail. I can put it on the groups. Hey, already it's there. If you want me to put it, I will put it once we're done in the class. I'm going to, if you are already with me on Chemistry Lovers, am I right? If you are already in Chemistry Lovers, I'm going to put it today. Once we're done, I will put it on the group. Okay? Yeah, let's continue. طيب, but when we put ammonia بقى, what will happen? It's going to give you again white precipitate as we saw in the table. White precipitate. If you check here, بصوا, the word precipitate is 1 mark. Here, no. But all the time, usually say it. If it's 1 mark, if it's not, you usually say it. But if you put excess ammonia, again, it's going to dissolve. I will say now it will give you colorless it will give you colorless solution. Type next. I will put silver nitrate. Type. Once you put silver nitrate, I told you before, all the time, when you put silver nitrate is a test for what? It's a test for chloride or bromide or iodide all the time. Oh, this is the positive tests. Check it out. What will happen here? Who can tell me? Who can tell me if you put chloride or bromide or iodide, what's the difference? The color? Yes, Yarito, the color, that's true. Uli Juju, tell me. If you are having chloride or bromide or iodide, imagine I'm having here chloride, or I'm having bromide, or I'm having here iodide. Jana, yes, Juju, tell me.
So chloride is going to be white precipitate, while
Correct.
bromide is cream precipitate,
Correct.
and iodide is yellow precipitate.
That's true.
So the difference is only color.
That's true. Correct. So again, this is going to give you white precipitate. The first one is going to give you white precipitate. The second, cream precipitate, and the third one is yellow precipitate. Since this question was talking about bromide, I'm expecting the word the color cream precipitate. Okay? If you are an Edexcel student, don't forget to write when we add silver nitrate, you need to say by adding كمان dilute nitric acid. For Cambridge, sometimes they don't cut mark. Like an Edexcel, all the time they cut 1 mark if you didn't write it. So please take care. You need to write dilute nitric acid and silver nitrate. If he asks you يعني how to test for bromide, it's going to give you cream precipitate. Okay? Right, let's continue. Bravo, Jojo, good job. Let's continue. Okay, so again, my observation. Okay, my observation is going to be here. It's going to be cream precipitate. Type precipitate. Well, as I told you, it's 2 marks, so you need to write the word precipitate. Don't forget, please. Okay, like next. This part, I'm going to write here. I'm going to tell you the test. You need to tell me what's the solid. Type, I'm telling you, the flame test, it's going to give me yellow color. But for sure, who's this? Since it's going to give you yellow color. Mean the flame test, the only flame test that will give you the yellow color, this is sodium. So you can write sodium like this. Okay? Type. If you don't want to write sodium, if you want to write the symbol, you need to write sodium like this, Na+. If you write it, as I told you before, if you write it like this, Na alone, this is wrong. I'm sorry. I'm not going to give you the mark. Why? لأنه here I'm testing for ions. Ions. What do I mean by ions? يعني you need to write sodium plus. It's not a sodium metal. It's an ion. يعني it's طب what's the difference between a metal and a salt? A metal and an ion. لو I'm talking about sodium, again, sodium is alone. It's alone كده, it's a metal. لكن when it's a part of a salt, يبقى it's an ion. That's why we write here Na+ و Cl-. So it's different. Type. To identify any substance, you need to write both parts. The positive part and the negative part. طب now I wrote the positive part. طب what about the negative part? He is saying, and he will put barium nitrate, no change. I told you before, if I put, do you remember when I told you barium بيحب الsulfate? Do you remember? I told you barium likes sulfate. يعني all the time when you want to search for sulfate ion, you need to put barium, something related to barium. Okay? And if you want to search for sulfate, if the barium will find the sulfate, it's going to give you white precipitate. If there was no sulfate, so no change. But in this question, I put barium, I found no change, but this means there was no sulfate. Okay? So, no highlight? What do you mean by no highlight? Oh, I cannot see the screen? So this means there is no sulfate. Type here he put silver nitrate and then it's going to give you yellow precipitate. I told you, if I put silver nitrate with chloride or bromide or iodide, I told you if you put it with chloride or bromide or iodide, what will happen? It's going to give me, if it's giving you yellow precipitate, so for sure it's iodide. This one gives white, this one gives cream, this one gives yellow. So أكيد for sure it is sodium iodide. You can write it like this as بالcharge, or you can write it sodium iodide like this. We take care, it's a 2-mark question. 1 mark to write sodium, 1 mark to write iodide. No, the answer I thought. Oh, okay. Clear? Type. The question that we did, this was a direct one. Honestly, it was a direct one. But let's take another one. Here he's saying what? He is saying, I have another salt. This is another year, but this is another question. He was saying, I have another salt. What's the color for this salt? And I have 2 solids. One of them is called E, one of them is called F. Solid F is potassium iodide. And these are the tests. He said, it's green solid. When we heat it, it's going to turn black. And then when we put sulfuric acid, effervescence was formed. Lime water turns milky. and then when we put flame test, it gives blue-green color. Type. The first question he said, state why when we heat the solid, we need to heat it gently, then strongly. يعني why he said here, heat the solid gently. Why? طب ما I can heat it strongly. Why should I heat gently? Then I should heat strongly. What's the point? What do you think? Hey Ronnie, tell me.
لا مس، هو أنا لسه داخلة، فينفع أعرف هو أنتوا بتعملوا إيه؟ يعني
I will tell you. We're doing testing for ions or testing for gases.
أوكي تمام. شكرا يا
Okay.
مس.
العافية يروح قلب الناس. يلا. So again. So what should I do now? He's asking why when we heat a substance, we need to heat it gently, then strongly. So what should I say? Why do you think? Juju, you were raising your hand, am I right? Tell me, what's the reason?
Yes. Maybe we can say that we can say that see the change of the colors easily.
No. I will tell you. If you heat the test tube strongly, maybe the test tube is going to crack. Right? You know, it's gas. It's sorry, it's glass. So one of the reasons, and maybe the tube may crack or might crack. This is one of the answers. But what's the other answer? No, maybe if there is a solid here, maybe if there is a solid here, it's going to spit out of the tube when you heat it strongly. Same like when you use on the stove, مثلا, and you're heating the food so strongly. Sometimes the food will comes out of the pot since you're heating it so strongly. لا مش explode يا فاري، يعني it will not explode، مش لدرجة explode، يعني بس it will come out of the tube. So that's why we have two answers. The mark scheme was saying two parts. يعني two answers are accepted. And the solid may spit out of the tube, or the other part you can say the tube might crack. Right. This was the first question. The second question, what was the gas given by test 2? Type. Since he puts here lime water, what do you think the lime water is used to test for what?
Carbon dioxide.
Exactly. Lime water is going to test for carbon dioxide. So if he asks you, what's the gas? I will say carbon dioxide. Type. Question 3, letter C, he said, identify solid. This solid. What is this solid? بصوا بقى. يبقى I need to write what is the positive ion, what is the negative ion. So how should I do it? First of all, if I'm having here this part, since you said carbon dioxide, carbon dioxide is formed when you put acid to the substance. For any substance, when you put acid with it, it's going to give you salt, water, or carbon dioxide. يبقى أكيد for sure this substance was something carbonate. For sure. لأنه if there was carbonate, يبقى any acid with a metal carbonate is going to give you salt, water, or carbon dioxide. For sure. يبقى this means what? This means إن أكيد substance دي was something carbonate. It was a metal carbonate. But I don't know which carbonate. طب أنا from where do I know it's carbonate? لأنه it produces carbon dioxide gas. مفيش حاجة هتعمل producing carbon dioxide with an acid غير لو كانت فيها carbonate. طيب بس I need to know what is the metal. طب it's very easy. أو يعني مين الحاجة كربونات؟ هل هو صوديوم كربونات ولا بوتاسيوم كربونات ولا ليثيوم كربونات؟ I need to know مين البوزيتيف ion. The first part of the salt. He said I'm going to put a flame test where it's going to give you what? It's going to give you blue-green color. The flame test with the blue-green color, if we go and we will check in the sheet, who can tell me what is the substance? Sorry?
Copper.
الشطارة دي. سلام. مين بقى؟ What's your name?
رنا.
دكتور يا راني. أهو. Copper. Oh, sorry. Wait, this is not the flame test. 1 minute. Oh, this is the flame test. You see, if I'm going to put a flame test, so easy. If you put a flame test, it's going to give you copper, so it's once it's give you blue green so it's copper على طول. بصوا كاتبين الكوبر positive اهو شايفين lithium positive, potassium positive 2, barium positive 2. They are not writing it as barium alone, as copper alone. No. With the charge, as I told you, if you wrote it as an element alone, it's going to be wrong. Okay? يلا. برافو يا ريتو, برافو لين, good job. Let's continue. So this question is done. طيب, another question. He is saying this is the هما usually يعني two ideas they are there. Now it's the opposite بقى. He is telling you in the salt is named potassium iodide and he is going to start testing the potassium iodide. So what should I do for the potassium iodide if you check بقى? First of all, he is saying what is the color? What is the color for potassium iodide? Usually group 1 elements, group 1 metal, sorry.
White.
Exactly, they are white. So that's why I'm going to say it's a white solid. Okay? Type. Number 2, he is saying I will put water and then I will put sodium hydroxide. If you're going to check the sheet, I didn't take potassium with
Excuse
it.
me.
Yes.
معلش بس ليه قلتي white؟
Usually بصي the majority of يعني potassium elements اللي هم potassium, sodium, الحاجات اللي في group 1 دي usually it gives white colored salts. طيب, how do you know? Experience past papers. When you answer a lot you will know ان هم white. عادة elements بتاعت group 1 و group 2 كده بيبقوا white. Most of them. elements اللي دايما colored هي transition metals. It's not a rule بس the majority يعني. دايما transition metals بيدوا حاجات colored. يعني الكوبر، الحاجات اللي فيها كوبر، السولتس اللي فيها كوبر دايما بتبقى بلو، اللي فيها ايرون داي بتبقى جرين، ايرون تراي ريدش براون. مين تاني؟ الكروميوم بيبقى جريش جرين او جرين. يعني the majority of the salts اللي هم الترانزيشن metals هم اللي ليهم colors، لكن جروب 1 جروب 2 the majority بيكونوا white salts. طيب.
اوكي شكرا.
العفو يا روحي. طيب let's continue. What about this part بقى اللي هي البارت he was saying ان السولت اسمه potassium حاجة و he is saying ان he will add sodium hydroxide to it. If you check here I don't have any potassium. I don't have any test for potassium. So what should I do? I'm going to say no change.
No change.
Yes, no change. لأنه already I don't have any I don't have here any test for potassium. You got the point? That's why I will say no change. طيب, let's continue. Where is it? Where did you stop? Oh, here بقى. هو the salt أنا بس I want to remind you the salt was أهو it was given here. بصوا it was potassium iodide. The salt was potassium iodide. So here he's saying I will put nitric acid or silver nitrate. You see now in 2 years it's repeated the whole 3 times. We said, you know, if I have chloride or bromide or iodide and I want to test for them, you put silver nitrate, this will give white, this will give cream, this will give yellow. So for this one it's going to give you which color?
Yellow.
Yellow, exactly. Since it's iodide. But should I say yellow alone or should I say yellow precipitate?
Yellow precipitate. Yellow
Good job.
precipitate.
Bravo. You need to say yellow precipitate. طيب. Yes يا جوجو, tell me.
But why in the first like E1 EI wasn't any change while there's iodine, so it's going to change with sodium hydroxide.
This is a very good question. Take care يا جوجو. الصوديوم hydroxide when it test for what? It test for the part which is positive. يعني it doesn't matter who is the negative ion that I have. See كده؟ يعني you need to distinguish which part are you testing for. When you put sodium hydroxide, بصي, when you put sodium hydroxide, you're testing for the positive ions while you're testing for the negative ions. What do you think?
Positive.
Positive. يعني I don't care بقى هي iodide ولا كلورايد ولا سلفيت ولا نيتريت, it's the same, no change برضو. لأنه الصوديوم هيدروكسيد it's testing for the positive ion. فأنا لو جالي أي ion different than these, لا خلاص it's not change. Something like لو أنا I put magnesium مثلا, لا. يعني it must be one of these. You got my point? It's not
As we
will
are
not change.
testing, as we are testing, like it's like everyone alone in itself, like everyone in different,
No.
like it's not a salt, like everyone alone.
بصي, very easy way. أنا دلوقتي I'm going to give you 3 bags, ماشي? One of them was having aluminium chloride. One of them was having copper chloride. One of them was having iron chloride. 3 bags of salt. Well, I'm telling you, please distinguish and tell me which one is iron, which one مثلا is calcium, which one is aluminium. So what should you do? You will put them in 3 test tubes. وفي ال 3 test tubes, you're going to add to the 3 of them same substance اللي هي sodium hydroxide. If you find white, so it's what? If you find مثلا let's say green, so it's chromium. If you find reddish brown, so it's iron. Whatever بقى كانوا هم مين ال 3 salts. يعني هو it's the same test, بس it will show you which positive ion is it. You got the point? But it's not testing
Yes,
for
thank
the
you.
negative ion. Whatever the negative ion is, الصوديوم hydroxide بيتست the positive part. It doesn't deal with the negative. بس احنا already we did this before, that's why I didn't explain it. لكن مين انت بقى you want to test, is it chloride ولا bromide ولا iodide? If you want to test for the negative ion, you need to test here بقى. يعني if it is chloride, bromide, iodide, يبقى you're going to add silver nitrate. طب you want to test for nitrate salt, you will put sodium hydroxide وألمنيوم foil. Ammonia will be produced. You want to test for sulfate, هنحط بحاجة فيها barium. You want to test for sulfite, you will put potassium manganate. You want to test for carbonate, you will put acid. And so on. It's a different test. Am I clear?
Okay, Miss, thank you.
You're
Thank
most
you so
welcome,
much.
sweetheart. You're most welcome. My pleasure. Okay. يعني أما إن شاء الله I will try to make a sequence كده of classes as much as I can يعني for paper 6. I will try لأنه I know إنه وبرضه I will try to make for paper 2 لأنه I know the majority of the students they have a problem مع paper 6 و paper 2 for Cambridge students يعني وحتى even Edexcel students they have problem برضه مع practical. That's why يعني I will try as much as I can to focus on these types of questions لأنه I know no, it's a little bit confusing for the majority يعني. طيب where did we stop? Oh, we're here I think. We did this, huh? طيب.
Yes.
Okay, طيب here بقى what about this? I'm going to do a flame test. What will happen to the flame test? The salt was named potassium iodide. So flame test برضه الفليم test يا جوجو they don't test except for the positive ions only. الفليم test they never test for the negative ions.
Okay, but the flame test is like when you get the metal and put it near a flame. صح؟
Yes بس هو مش metal هو salt.
هو بيبقى salt.
Yes هو salt
عشان يبقى less
يعني
reactive.
لا بس I want to tell you something انا مش بعمل للميتال انا بعمل للسولت يعني في part منه positive و part negative بس الفليم تيست it's not going to show you except ايه
The positive one.
exactly the positive
Thank you
only.
so much.
Sorry?
I said thank you so much.
Oh, you're most welcome, sweetheart. My pleasure. Okay, since it's going to give you purple lilac color, since قصدي it's potassium ion يبقى for sure it's going to give you which color? Lilac color. لأنه lilac is only happening with it's going to be given only أهو. check كده. هو انتوا by time you will get used to it. يعني انتوا بس عشان maybe at the beginning maybe it's if it's for you يعني the first time to answer this kind of question it's going to be شوية weird لكن by time it's going to be so easy. أهو potassium is going to give you lilac ايه؟ lilac color. Okay. Let's continue. Oh,
Miss, at the first when you said that when we want to like to memorize the one like these, you said like to be getting the best papers and the table beside it, the table, yeah, and we can like practice with it, like as we do here in the Zoom,
exactly.
as we do here online.
Yes, but see, now we don't have too much time. Like, and for you, you have time. So if I'm in your shoes, if I'm in your place, what should I do? I'm going to print like these questions. Even if you don't have these, and if you want me to send it, it's fine. I can put it on Chemistry Lovers group. If you want, I can. Although
Okay.
this is not free, and I don't put it on free groups. But if you want, if this will help you, you are struggling, wallahi, I will put it. I have no problem at all.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to put it. مثلا, let's say you will do what? You will print both. Okay? But I'm not going to
Okay.
put it on Instagram or Facebook, huh? And I'll put it on the
Okay. Okay.
lovers
On
group.
the WhatsApp group. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your help.
You're most welcome, sweetheart. I'm always there for you. So I'm going to put these types of sheets, okay? And I'm going to put اللي هي الtable. So what should you do? Print both. We'll start بقى one by one. At the beginning, it's going to be a little bit hard for you. By time, خلاص. It's going to be very easy. Believe me.
Okay, حاضر
Okay.
حاضر.
ماشي يا روح. ايه ده، في حد بعد؟ ده who's this؟ محمد أسامة أكيد. محمد أسامة. والله I didn't see your name. محمد أسامة, thank you so much. محمد, he put for you الواتساب جروبس واليوتيوب والتليجرام everything يعني. thank you so much يا محمد والله. thank you so much والانستجرام وكل حاجة. يلا, let's continue. I'm going to put برضو this video إن شاء الله. Once we're done, I'm going to download it. بس يعني maybe it takes 2 days ولا حاجة. I'm going to put it برضو on YouTube. So, describe how can you carry a flame test. طيب, how can you carry a flame test? What should you do? Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you. Last year, I made something which is it really helped the students. I collected برضو a lot of questions together, and for the practical يعني, I sent it on the groups last year before the exam. I sent برضو the mark scheme. It really helped. فإن شاء الله برضو this year, this year I will do the same. برضو I will send before the exam, but this is not going to be now done. It's going to be before the exams. برضو I will يعني night of the exam or before the exam by 2-3 days. برضو إن شاء الله I'm going to send it. So maybe برضو إن شاء الله it will help you. The latest video I was the first one to put the like. يا سلام يا محمد. ايه بس thank you so much يا محمد. والله if you are my assistants, you're not going to do all this for me. يعني I really appreciate everything you're doing for me يا محمد والله. Thank you so much. يلا بينا. Let's do the flame test. How should I do the flame test? When I asked the students يا لولي about the flame test, the students يعني yesterday in the tuition I was asking them how to make a flame test. They said, Miss, get the metal or put it in the flame. طبعا, why should I give you a mark for this? This is not a complete answer. I'm sorry. So I have 3 points in the mark scheme for this question. You need to mention 2 of them. طب for me, لا, mention the 3 points. Okay? So the first part إنه الفليم test, first of all, you need to get a rod. طيب, sorry, a wire. The wire that it's supposed to be made of what? Of substance that is not reactive. Like what? Like nichrome, like platinum, substance that is unreactive. So it will not react with the substance itself. Okay?
We can use graphite.
No, we don't use graphite. لا. It's a metal. We use a metal. And then you are going to add to it some HCl, concentrated HCl. Then you will put the salt. What will happen when you put the salt here on this wire? You need to put it in which side, in which area of the flame? You need to put it in the blue part of the flame. يعني the rod itself, you need to put it in the blue part of the flame. Why especially the blue part? Because it's the hottest part. طبعا for sure يا محمد, you need to clean the wire. طبعا for sure, لأنه maybe it has any I said this before, you need to clean it before you start, لأنه maybe it has traces from any other substance. For sure طبعا you need to clean it. طيب, then بس أنا بتكلم على الماركس يا محمد بس دلوقتي دي الidea يعني. Then once you're done, once you put it in the hottest part of the flame, يبقى this is you are going to find the color of the flame will change according to the substance that you already have. طيب ال 2 marks one of يعني ال 2 marks دول are going to be divided on 3 points. Number 1 you need to say and you will put it in the blue part of the flame أو the hottest part of the flame. Number 2 you need to say إنه you need in the wire itself you will use a wire. Why? To introduce the solid into the flame. يبقى you need to say you will use the wire to introduce the solid into the flame. Number 3 you need to say you will use a HCl. Okay? So you need to write 2 of these 3 points. طيب, let's do this. We'll choose another one and that's it for today. There was one that is really good. It was a little bit somehow it was tricky. That's why I want you to show you this one. Question 4. We can stop here. يعني I will do question 4 and that's it. Also عشان this question is a little bit في something new يعني. So that's why. What conclusion? This one. This is the one I want. بصوا كده this part. Yes, يا سارة. سارة.
هو أنا أيوة ممكن نبقى نغير المواعيد المرة الجاية لأن أنا مش هقدر أخش الحصة الساعة 3 ساعة
3
لأن أنا في بلد تانية. أيوة إن الساعة دلوقتي عندنا 3.
ايه ده where are you 3 yeah maybe in which country صار
UK.
لسه كنت اقول لك اكيد حاجه كده في اوروبا الساعه 3 يا ربي طيب هي بس البروبلم يا صرصور والله ان انا I don't know what to do الستودنتس اللي في ايجيبت عندهم بروبلم في قطع النور والستودنتس اللي في الكويت اغلبهم عندهم تيوشن نايت والستودنتس اللي بره عندهم بروبلم في موضوع التايم انا مش عارفه والله what should I do وانا during weekdays عندي after school يعني عندي every day I have work till night فانا I don't know what to do بصراحه يعني I will try to حاضر يعني انت the problem ان انت you want it later صح؟
أيوة يعني زي آخر مرة.
زي اخر مره ما اخر مره مش هينفع والله للاسف لانه it was better for all بس في teacher as I told them انه there is a teacher that is giving free classes for physics I don't know her by the way يعني she's not my friend بس a lot of our students they are joining for her classes because of the light you know no in Egypt it's cutting 2 hours every day she changed the time of her free classes once she changed the time بقى التايم بتاعها نفس التايم بتاعي اللي هو تقريبا 8 o'clock something like this مش عارفه انا مش عارفه بصراحه التايم امتى بالظبط بس الناس كتير بعتت لي على البوينت دي وانا والله مراعاه ان انا I want you all to attend both classes انا مش عايزه اضايق حد فذاتس انا حتى I changed all my classes today because of this مع ان انا والله I don't know her حتى و I never talk to her بس عشان انا مش عايزه اضايقها ومش عايزه ازعل الناس فقلت خلاص انا اغير my work يعني بس مش عارفة يا سارة طب أنا if I make it Saturday night يعني if I make it Saturday night is it going to work with you?
Saturday
يعني
night.
raise your hand
أيوة.
if I'm going to make it Saturday night instead of Friday night is it going to work with all of you? Raise your hands كده طيب let me see
So miss when at night like what hour
no miss I can't بص فريدة she said no at what time حسب بقى ما أشوف الورك مش عارفة يعني maybe 9 o'clock 8 o'clock Kuwait time
بس ممكن تخليها الجمعة مثلا الساعة 9.
ما هو حبيبتي ما انا I can't انا بصي يا what's your name
رنا.
بصي يا راني انت بتتكلمي على كويت تايم صح ولا ايجيبت تايم
كويت تايم.
كويت تايم البروبلم بس ان انا ما اقدرش اخليها برضو متاخر قوي لانه بصراحه honestly انا فرايداي لو المفروض انها it's my free day انا بصحى ويبقى عندي شغل من 8 o'clock morning تمام فبيبقى صعب جدا ان انا اخده بالليل قوي يعني انا كنت عاملاه in the middle كده في النص شويه لو 8 o'clock معقول لكن لما كل ما بيتاخر كل انا بصراحه at night ببقى خلاص I can't بس هي دي البوينت ان
أو
انا اوريدي بيبقى بقالي 12 hours working direct with no rest. ف that's why بس والله. لكن انا if I start late Friday زيكم كده كانش هيبقى عندي problem. ف if it's before 8 I can.
7 o'clock مثلا.
عايزانا انا بالنسبه لي it's fine. يعني لو if we make it Saturday every Saturday 7 o'clock is it going to work with you؟ ما بصوا عايزه اقول
Yes.
لكم حاجه. بس انا عايزه اقول لكم حاجه. احنا مش هنلاقي time for all of you for all of us. Impossible. لان احنا already from different countries we have different tuitions. ف it's impossible. ما that's why I'm putting الفيديوز على يوتيوب. انا before I was not putting them. انا عملت موضوع اليوتيوب وبقى I'm putting the videos عشان كده. عشان if anyone missed the class he can see the class and can watch the class. If has any question you can ask me. لانه مش عندي بصراحه مش عارفه اعمل ايه في دي. لانه بصوا حتى لما قلت Saturday only 3 they raised their hands. this means انه Friday is better. انا عارفه انه Friday already is better طبعا for all of you.
بس هو حتى لو خليتيه مثلا ساعة كمان يعني، هو بس الفكرة ان انا لسه راجعة من المدرسة حالا، لسه داخلة، ف آه،
I
مش
will try.
هقدر.
بصي انا مش هقدر اوعدك. انا I will try. I will try لانه البروبلم ان انا عندي classes بعد كده. فانا مش عارفه بصراحه I can change it or not. I will try. لو لقيت ان انا I can change حاضر I will. Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. I think you got like 1.5k subscribers. والله I don't look اصلا يا محمد يعني. اصلا انا مش بعمل ده عشان السبسكرايبرز. فوالله انت مش هتصدق بس انا عمري ما دخلت اصلا على اليوتيوب شانل بتاعتي اصلا. هم اوريدي الاسيستنت هو اللي بيحط الفيديوز حتى. فانا I don't know even anything about it يعني. طب والله كويس. يعني الناس تستفيد ان شاء الله. ربنا يا رب يجعلها دايما في صالح الناس يا رب. طيب بصوا انا بس هقول one more last point. انه here في الكويستشن ده the question was saying that السولت يعني was iron hydroxide. ماشي. انا بس عايزه اقول الكويستشن ده السولت was iron hydroxide. ماشي. فهي was saying what's your conclusion about iron hydroxide. ماشي. و this was a very weird question. ليه بقى؟ لانه it was unexpected. iron hydroxide. ماشي. انا بس عشان مش هنلحق نعمل باقي الكويستشن فانا هقول لكم ده كان اب. يعني المفروض الريزلت انه في الاخر هيبقى iron hydroxide. فهي is saying what's your conclusion about solid J. طيب since ان هو iron hydroxide وكويستشن عليه 2 marks عارفين الانسر كان ايه؟ امين يا مس. كان ايه بقى يا معتز الانسر؟ الانسر انه since ان هو iron يبقى I supposed to say ايه يا لولي؟ نهاية يا ساجة تلمي. لا يا محمد wrong. هي ساجة you need to say what? It's a
transition metal.
correct. برافو. شطوري يا ساجة برافو. It's a transition metal. بس كده I took 1 mark. عارفة the other mark على ايه؟ انه اقول ان it's a catalyst. لانه this is what I know about transition metal. طب انا from where do I know ان transition metal? I told you before ان transition metals زي الايرون طبعا من البريدك تيبل. الايرون الكوبر الكوبالت النيكل الزنك. usually transition metals بيبقوا حاجات colored. they are colored metals. فهو كان في الاول بيقول لي ان هو حاجه colored. since انه colored هيبقى transition metal. I need to know another conclusion. الترانزيشن metals احنا خدنا في topic البريدك تيبل ان هم they are always used as ايه؟ as catalyst. Okay, that's why I wrote it. طيب عايزه اقول لكم حاجه. في transition metal exception اللي هو مين؟ الزنك. الزنك it's not colored. الزنك عموما شويه exception عن ال other transition metals لان هو it form white compound مش colored. وكمان هو مش عنده high melting. it doesn't have a high melting و boiling point. بالعكس it has low melting و boiling point. والثيرد بارت ان هو كمان it has one oxidation state. يعني الزنك دايما positive 2. في transition metals دايما بتبقى positive زي الايرون positive 2 positive 3. الكوبر positive 1 positive 2. لكن الزنك دايما positive 2 بس. وعنده low melting boiling point وكمان it formed white compound مش colored. اوكي.
طب بس هو في السؤال ده ممكن مثلا نقول هو
لا
عنده
مفيش
high
أي
melting
answer.
point.
nothing. مفيش أي no other answers في المارك scheme. و if you check the question في المارك scheme you're not going to find except these two. That's why I
يعني هو
did
احنا
it. عشان هو مش موجود.
المفروض نعرف المفروض نعرف اللي هو عشان transition metals فهو يبقى catalyst كده، لكن هو ما
Exactly.
بيناش أي حاجة في السؤال فوق اللي هو catalyst.
لا ما قالش أي حاجة خالص. هو المفروض automatic. You need to know this since it's
A transition
a
metal.
transition metal. Yes, that's true. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Most welcome يا روحي. That's all for today. I'm going to see you إن شاء الله next week. Thank you so much. I hope you يعني at least you know something new. I hope you get used of the class. I'll put it inshallah on YouTube. I'm going to see you next week. Have a great weekend. A great week inshallah. We'll see you next week. Love you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you a
Sifan.
lot.
Thank you. Thank you, Roy.
Thank you so much.
You're most
Thank you.
welcome. You're most welcome.